What's up all you animalistic dudes and dudettes, Toyshiz here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another fresh look, and this time it comes courtesy of my friends over at Spero Studios, and we're going to be checking out their Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. We got 3 figures to check out. You got the AHAW Kin, and he's looking oh so Thundercats-ish. I'm liking the colors on this guy. And then we also have the HORRID Ravagers, and they look to be the baddies of the group. And then of course you got Tiberius, who's a feral warrior, and I like the colors on this guy. Each one has little nuances that I really like, including their packaging. I like the artwork that they put on this. It's very eye-catching. It's just got that easily recognizable look. Like, okay, I want the guy in the helmet. I want the tiger-looking guy. The back of the packaging, the side of the packaging, that all looks good. And as you can see, it's from their Kickstarter. They're very successful Kickstarter, mind you, but it's just really nice to see. It's a very thin type of packaging, and then it also has a bit of a quick bio, but it's really just all about the different characters, and I like how each one is within a circle. And of course, thank you again to everyone over at Spero Studios for sending these over. But yeah, it's just, I enjoy that comic book look to these figures. It's very old school, Kenner, Toy Biz, things like that. So let's go ahead and get these open. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee. These are the brand new Spero Studios Animal Warriors of the Kingdom action figures. Before we get into it, I just want to mention the packaging one more time, because in opening these, you can see that they really had the collectors in mind. You just simply slip everything out of the plastic clamshell-ish type packaging, but nothing's ruined, nothing's broken, nothing is ripped, torn. You can all place them back in once you're done. Very cool that they paid attention to this. I really like that aspect. And of course, here they are, all out of their packaging. You can see you get multiple head sculpts with some, multiple weapons with others. These are actually really painted nicely for a 3 3/4 / 4-inch figure. They've nailed it. I mean, even down to the little tiny nuances, the crevices, the cracks, everything else, they've got it. This is really nice, finely applied paint, and also the fact that it's brightly colored. It's very cartoonish, comic booky, as I had mentioned, and I like that in an action figure. It just kind of is very eye-catching, very fun. And the thing I think I like the most is that you get so many weapons, including, you know, just with everything that you get, let's say with the HORRID Ravagers, you can army build the heck out of this guy. You'll have, basically, if you got 3 of them, you'd have 3 different figures. I love the copper-looking paint, especially on this guy's weapon selection, and you get everything that you need. I especially love the head sculpt on this guy. I like the yellow paint that kind of drips down, a little bit war paint. Over on AHAW KIN, yeah, you get this 2 different head sculpts. He looks good. And of course, Tiberius, you can do a warrior type head, or you can do the regular. And switching out the heads is fairly simple. I did run into a fact, sometimes the ball would pop off the actual head, but it simply just fits in and out. You can finagle it fairly easily, but it's just something to watch out for. But the weapons all fit in their hands. They're all nicely sized and sculpted. There's a little bit of, we'll say, weapon storage, but it's something you kind of do yourself. It's not like pockets or holsters or something like that. But you can fit it into their various belts and straps, and it does look really nicely. The armor that they come with is removable. It just simply snaps onto their shins, their legs, the arms. A little bit of articulation in some instances for the armor, but you can swap it out with the various characters. That's the nice thing about this toy line, is that it's all interswappable. It's kind of a little bit of a customizable thing. I'm sure you could paint them again if you so chose, but all the weapons are multiversal. You can use them with any of the other figures. I really just like the colors. I think this one of these weapons is a little funny to me, just saying. But they look nice and they photograph really great. I mean, just in looking at them. The one thing I will say, just in the detraction, possibly would be the articulation. Yes, it's got pretty much up-to-date articulation, but it does get hindered on some of the figures with their pauldrons. Some of their armor gets in the way, something like that, and some of the joints can be loose. However, they do have ports on their back, and if you have a good flight stand that is compatible, so I'm using the Diamond Select one that I just got with the Avatar figures, and it works perfectly. It fits right into their back, and you can get some really cool poses out of it. That's really cool. If later down the road they can figure out how to put stands with these guys, I think they will have nailed it, because there's something to be said about just being able to do something posable wise, putting them up in the air high, you know, something like that. That's just really cool. And you can get them some dynamic poses, much like photographers and those that like snap photos love to do. But let's go ahead and look at these figures more in depth. Go over the articulation really fast. The head is on a bit of a ball joint. It'll look left, right. Doesn't really look up too much, and will look down about that. And you do get a little bit of gappage, but it's really not that big a deal. You can kind of see how it rotates in there. On the shoulders, because this one doesn't really have any pauldrons or anything going on, he gets the most articulation points possible. He goes all the way up. He has a single jointed elbow, and it does rotate at the elbow. And the wrists, as you can see, will go up and down, and they can spin as well. So that's good articulation for the hands, and single jointed elbows is pretty good. He's got an upper diaphragm rotation, gets some good mobility out of that. Nothing like, say, at the waist other than that joint. He will kick up, kick back, actually pretty good. Kicks off to the side about that much. Double jointed knees, which work great. And then I would say that he's got some ankle rotation. It goes up and down, not like a ball joint that'll go side to side. And he does have holes on the bottom of his feet. These are ultimately really well articulated figures. I think they look good. They're painted really nicely as well. But some things to kind of keep an eye out for. Some joints are a little bit loose, more so than other in different figures. And sometimes when you go to snap out and pop out the heads, the ball joint can be a little bit loose as well. So just some things to think about. But overall, I would say it's a really nicely painted, nice articulated figure. And depending on which one you want to go for, because it pretty much has the same articulation for every figure, I think you're going to be really stoked. Now, in lining them up with other 3 3/4 / 4-inch figures, I would say Fortnite ones for the modern times work the best. Yes, you can do them with G.I. Joe or Star Wars, but I think just in the creativeness, the sheer wacky weirdness of this line paired up with Fortnite, I think they look really good fighting each other, and you can use their weapons back and forth. They look good on some of the figures. I wish Fortnite had the little flight stand portholes in the back. Fortnite does have some extra articulation that I do wish the Animal Warriors did have, especially in, like, let's say, ankle rockers and things like that. But again, they're going to match up really nicely on your shelf. And just to show some scale, here they are with Marvel Legends and McFarlane, and also NECA Toys and a random Ghostbusters figure. So that's really going to do it for my fresh look at these Spero Studios toys. I have looked at these before, and I think that they are just nailing it in terms of the paint, the articulation, everything else. Yes, I would change just some things here and there. I would like to see some ankle rocker, and then also just maybe some changes here and there, just so a lot of the joints don't get too loose. That's just some of the issues that I ran into, but for the most part, these are actually really enjoyable, and I'm going to love posing with the other 4-inch figures that I have from different companies on my shelves. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you have any of these figures? Did you support the Kickstarter? Will you be grabbing any now? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Animal Warriors. I'll have links to Spero Studios down in the description below, so if you want to get any of these, go and hit them up, please. Again, thank you to everyone, Jason, very much. I appreciate you guys sending these over to give you guys this fresh look. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, just because they're Animal Warriors doesn't mean that they don't have feelings too. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.